Hi, neighbors. Let's talk a bit about some music for worship this coming Sunday. We are 4 weeks into our sermon series now, in which we take a deep dive into our core values at TPC: inclusive, curious, compassionate, and courageous. And this week's focus is on curiosity. But this is also the Sunday in which the liturgical calendar gives us a nod to the Protestant Reformation, that occasion in which Martin Luther, in the year 1517, declares his 95 Theses in criticism of the Catholic Church. So I thought it'd be okay if our music made a little nod to that event instead of directly reflecting the gospel lesson and sermon. I figure, given the complex TV dramas that we consume, that you'd be okay with following a second storyline. So the choir will sing a setting of "A Mighty Fortress is Our God." And when I first shared my plans with Rob, he understandably had some reservations. But I said, no, you have to trust me. This is not what you would expect. And so, as always, he did trust me. So let's look at this text together. A Mighty Fortress is based on Psalm 46. Martin Luther took the ancient Hebrew psalm and wrote a Christian paraphrase of it. The opening of Psalm 46 reads, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear." Luther's hymn begins, "A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. Our helper he, amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing." Now, the dictionary definition of bulwark is a defensive wall or some institution that acts as a defense. A bulwark never failing. God is our method of defense. It's sort of passé language, but okay so far. But then Luther goes on to paint this pretty vivid battle between Satan and Christ that honestly sounds more medieval drama than modern Christian hymn. "For still our ancient foe doth seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate, on earth is not his equal." Then, the second stanza is about putting our trust in Christ. The third is once again all about a struggle against Satan. Then the fourth stanza finally resolves the feud with some pretty nice poetry. It says, "The body they may kill, God's truth abideth still. His kingdom is forever." So yes, it does resolve itself in the end, but maybe you can see where church leaders might hesitate to program this hymn in 2021. On to the setting that our choir will sing this Sunday. The arranger, Kyle Peterson, alters a bit of this text, and does so in a beautiful way that doesn't detract from the original poetry, but does encourage us to rename Satan. A mighty fortress is our God, a refuge never failing. Now we're back to the original Psalm 46 language. Remember, God is our refuge. "For still our spirit's foes doth seek to work us woe. They lure with power so great, with judgment and with hate. Shield us, ere guard us as thy own." What are my spirit's foes? I mean, if you want to talk about it, invite me to lunch sometime. But I will say here what is not my foe. And that is an evil man with horns and a pitchfork that lords over the fires of hell. My spirit's foes are those here on earth who would take advantage or judge me, myself included. And so I look to God for refuge. The second stanza, the one about putting our trust in Christ, is mostly unaltered. The big difference is the last line. We put aside the battle language and simply say that God was, God is, and God ever shall be. And the third stanza, the one all about struggling against Satan, it's gone, dropped altogether. It's just not needed where we're headed. The beginning of the last stanza is my favorite moment in the piece. It reads, "Thy word above all earthly power, thy love, thy hope, my God above all earthly power." And the arranger brilliantly presents this moment in a cacophonous Pentecostal spirit. I can't wait for you to hear it. And then the rest is a translation of Martin Luther's words. Let goods and kindred go, this mortal life also. The body they may kill, but God's truth abideth still. The kingdom is forever. And that's great news. I can also give you a little heads up. This arrangement is written for choir, piano, and electric guitar. Mark Cashin, TPC's resident rock star, is going to join us for a pretty unique sound. Maybe, hopefully, this offering will encourage us to be more mindful and more curious about the hymns we sing. Peace.